What is happening, everyone? It's GBall, and I have a knife here to unbox for you, coming in from Trivisa. This is a new release for them, and they have had a killer year here in 2026 so far, and this is going to be one of the latest introductions into their catalog. It is called the Batwing. Now, they actually put out two different sizes of the Batwing. There's a mini, if you will, and then there's a full size. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome to GBall Vision. Drop a comment below. Let me know what your EDC looks like today. Now, the Batwing, we did check out the full-size variant not too long ago, and this is going to be what they're calling the Mini. It's going to have the same exact aesthetic and characteristics as well as materials. 14C28N on the blade steel, has a nice bronze PVD finish. We have a cutout for the deployment, and it's going to be sporting their crossbar lock, which they do a great job with it. And then this is actually going to be not carbon fiber, but G10. Trivisa, I would say, is one of the companies who has really led the way in innovating G10, or at least putting innovative G10s out there. This really looks like a carbon fiber, but it is actually thick sheets of G10. That is some stunning looking stuff. And then our pivot colors are going to match our backspacer. And then we have a deep carry wire clip that's recessed, and it is going to be left-hand friendly. So this is going to be for the people who, you know, like the Batwing, the full size, but maybe that one's a little too big. You have various laws that prohibit you from carrying a bigger blade, something to that effect, or you just like a more mid-sized knife. This is going to be perfect for you. A great utility blade shape with that modified sheep split blade. And then you have a great steel backing you up at this given price point, which these are about 50 bucks or so, which for what you're getting from Trivisa is a fantastic price. They're one of the hidden gems of the knife world, in my opinion. Let's get a look here at the length of this guy. So coming in, I would say just shy of 6 3/4. It's more like 6 5/8. We had 2.5 inches of cutting edge, maybe just a touch past 2.5, maybe like 2.6 on the cutting edge, and then we'll call it 2 7/8 of total blade. For size comparison, we got the Spyderco Para 3 here up top and the PM2 on the bottom. It's going to be a touch smaller than something like the Para 3. And two more here for you. We have the Benchmade Bug Out up top, and then the brother, the Batwing Large here on the bottom, and that'll give you a great reference there. If you like something that's a little bit larger than the full-size Batwing, is going to be a nice touch. And if you like something a little smaller, more mid-size, this is going to do the job. I don't mind knives like this so much anymore. I wasn't a huge fan of smaller knives like this, and it's not that small, to be honest with you, but haven't been a huge fan always of smaller knives, but I have really come around on them, especially in the case where maybe you need like a backup or fifth pocket type blade, or you want to have one on you. And in that case, for me, a lot of times that fifth pocket knife is more of a utility style knife, and maybe even the primary user out of the group. You know, oftentimes I have a weird system and how I phrase it, but it all makes sense to me. We'll grab our 50 ways baked in GBall Vision Hank here and get a look at this wire clip. It works well. I've carried the full-size Batwing quite a bit here recently. You'll have just a tiny bit there poking out of the pocket, and it's going to be the same case with the full-size. You'll have maybe 1/8 of an inch or so there, and this wire clip is going to work really well. Good retention on the way out. It is recessed there into the scales. Retention and spring is very good, and it's going to be left-hand friendly, making it completely ambidextrous. We'll grab the arch nemesis here off the shelf and we'll get a weight check on the new Batwing. And I like to play a little game here on the channel with the new knives that come in where we try to guess the weight, but I always invite you to play along. You put your guess, ounces or grams, down in the comments. Even if you already have a comment down there, go ahead and put your guess. And if you're enjoying this video, you like knives and EDC, make sure you're subscribed here to the channel. I'm going to give this a go here. I'm going to say that it's going to come in pretty light. We do have some steel inserts in there that are recessed, but that's not going to add a whole lot to this with the G10. And then I believe that's aluminum with aluminum pivot collars. I bet this bad boy is maybe like 2.7, somewhere in there, maybe even a little less. Yeah, ooh! That's the first one today that I've even been remotely close. 74 grams and 2.6 ounces. I will definitely take that. The previous three today, I was like 0.4 off. So that's not too shabby for me. And that's not too bad for the weight on the Batwing either. Now we'll get the calipers out here and get a couple of measurements on the handle and blade. We'll start off with the handle thickness, and that is 0.47. 12.1 millimeters on the handle thickness. Blade stock thickness is 2.8 millimeters, 112 thousandths. So fairly thin on the blade stock. Let's see what they did here on the behind the edge. And that is right behind the edge there, 18 thousandths. Let's double check the full size guy here. A little bit thicker, a little bit broader, 136. But I still think it comes down pretty thin because the blade is nice and tall. Yeah, that's still coming in at 20 thousandths there, and I was a little high there. So I bet that one's even right there at 19, but you can see the height difference. So they were able to make that a little thicker even. Let's see how this new Batwing cuts out of the box. We'll use our standard catalog paper here and see what kind of edge we are looking at right out of the box for this Trivisa. It's one thing that Trivisa almost always gets right, and that's a good thing because we're dealing with sharp objects. But you're going to get a very sharp knife out of the box. They do their own designs and they do their own OEM work. That's one thing I've always appreciated about Trivisa. I've been buying their knives for the better part of 7-8 years now, all the way back to a rear flipper 14C 28N black micarta. I don't even think I had a name. I think it was just a couple of numbers. They might have given it a name later on actually, but yeah, I've been buying their knives for a long time, and they have gotten consistently better and better every year. And I would say more so this year, they have gotten really damn good, especially when we're talking $50, $60 knives. And I do know, this, depending on when you see this, it might be weeks in advance that you're seeing this video. Or weeks from when I recorded this, but I know Trivisa is currently, so what I'm getting at is the knife might be out or coming out very soon. They are working on their first button compression lock, button liner lock, so that is certainly something to look forward to. We have T8 there on the pivot, T8 on the pocket clip, and we're going to be looking at T6 on the body screws, and a non-tooled pivot on the show side. It's another thing I've always respected about Trivisa is they don't do a ton of branding, and I like that. They have their little logo there on the pivot, and that's all you see from Trivisa's knives. I really like that. Everything is nice and tight here. Yeah, everything's nice and tight. So T6 on the body, and then T8 for the pivot and pocket clip screw. So the next thing to do here is run this bad boy through a couple of checks. Now, in a previous video, we did the full-size variant. This bad boy is perfectly centered up. The springs are nice and strong in there for the crossbar lock. We'll give this a couple of tugs here and see if there's any up and down or side to side play. Now, I don't feel anything. That feels very good. I'm giving it some good giving it some good rub and tugs, and that is locked up very nicely. Also, the tabs protrude nicely, not too far, and they're not recessed too much to the point where you would struggle to get them. I'd say that's a nice place to be. Not going to interfere with my particular reverse flick. I ride this area with my pointer finger, and when they protrude too much, I often will kind of lock myself out or stop the blade from coming all the way out. No trouble with the Batwing series. Let's go ahead and we'll introduce the new Batwing to the spine whacker. And I'm not suspecting that we're going to have any issues whatsoever. We're going to start off with a light tap out there towards the tip just to get us going. That puts quite a bit of stress on the blade there and the lock. Give it another one just for good measure. Close it and check it. That was a really good shot, and it just laughed. Close it and check it. Sounds good. Ooh, nice. Very good. That is exactly what we want to see. Very good. Very good stuff from Trivisa. Like I said, this year they have had some killer stuff come out, and they've put out a few premium knives that are smoking good looking knives and more premium stuff, but their bread and butter has been the $50 to $65, $50 to $70 range. And when they're putting out stuff like this here, I mean, that handle looks damn near like it's carbon fiber. Not even damn near. It looks like some sort of weave carbon fiber, but that is solid blocks of G10. It's some good looking stuff, and they're charging G10 prices for it, which is another great thing. I will have links down in the description over to both of these knives, and I should have a little discount code for you for their website. You might be able to pick these up on Amazon as well. I'll have links over there if you can. You'll have to let me know what you think of the Batwing, and let me know if you own any Trivisa knives. I look forward to hearing from you. Do me a solid, hit that thumbs up button. It helps push the video to more people. And if you want to make sure you're going to see more daily dope knife and EDC content just like this, subscribe here to the channel and ring that bell. I'll pop up a couple of new videos you haven't seen yet. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.